fitness content is so weird. And a lot of my content that I post is focused around fitness. And so when I'm scrolling through social media, a lot of the things that are recommended to me are people in that fitness realm. When I see it, for some reason, it makes me cringe a little bit. And I know the saying goes, everyone thinks you're crazy until you make it. And that's true. So when you see these big content people who created businesses out of this, it just seems so natural for them. But then when you see the smaller people, I'm like, I don't know if they're doing that right. And then I think to myself, well, if someone sees my stuff, do they think the same thing? Like, what the heck is this guy doing? And I try to position myself a little bit different. I am pretty good runner. I'm pretty good shape, all the above, but I know there's people that are way better runners, way better shape, probably know way more about the science behind fitness and everything. But I love fitness, but I also try to preach and I also try to practice on fitness being a part of life and not being your whole life. It is a great hobby. At the end of the day, running these marathons, lifting weights in the gym, great hobbies, great for your health to some extent. The point that we get to with some of these races, not really, but for the most part, it's a hobby. And then you reach another point where it's actually detrimental to your health and it's no longer just a hobby being healthy, but it's actually tearing you apart. And why are you doing this? And my goal is to preach that fitness is super important, but not important just for health, physique, aesthetics, maybe not even really motivation, that it can help the rest of your life if you use it right. It is such a great practice field for real life problems that come your way. And that's what I talk about, not so much about, here's my workouts, well, I tend to do that, or you should do this. Here's the perfect diet, because I don't even have the perfect diet, but I do show up every single day. And I think people who are struggling with something in their life, if they don't have fitness and they're not pushing themselves in it, it is a great place to start, because you can force yourself to struggle in a controlled state, and it helps you practice these tools that you can use in the real world. And my number one goal in life has always been to help as many people as I can and create the most impact as I can. And I think by sharing these stories, sharing my processes, is I hope people can pick up on it. And I hope that, I don't know how, which is the big thing, but I hope everything I'm doing in life, career, relationships, YouTube, running, fitness, health, happiness, beaches, tropical, all that can come together and, one, give me a more fulfilling life, and two, hopefully help some people that watch this a more fulfilling life, if not maybe just some entertainment. I am fired up today. Why am I fired up? Because weeks ago, after my last marathon, I set a goal that by the end of this week, I think it was like 10 weeks, 8 weeks, somewhere like that, by the end of this week, to have lost 12 pounds. And this morning's weigh-in, we are 0.3 pounds over that goal with just a few days left. That means over the last, let's call it 10 weeks, I have lost 12 pounds. That is a perfect little cut. And this is the lowest weigh-in I've had in these last 12 weeks. I was hovering around that 164, 165 these last week or two. And I didn't know if I was going to break through. And this morning I finally broke through 163.3. We are 0.3 pounds away from our goal. And we are going to hit it on our very last day of this little mini cut. That is good. What, time use? Not time use. Good planning, good strategizing, good along. There's a word for it. I can't think of the word, but that is right on track. That fires me up. So speaking of being on a little mini cut, because these calories are a little bit lower, I think I'm a little worn out today. I'm not gonna lie. We're sitting outside the gym, but I don't think my original thought, just going ham today, is in the cards. My body's feeling a little beat down, so I think I'm gonna love myself a little bit more today and go a little more of a lighter workout, just get some movement in. What a way to, I know you shouldn't let the scale determine how your day goes, but when the goal is to have the scale lighter and you are almost at that goal, it is a good feeling, man. Good feeling. When I was younger, I loved the gym, and I always think, why would you go do anything else besides like go to the gym to work out, right? The gym is great. It's got everything you need. It's got the people, the weights, the machines, the treadmills, whatever it is. But the older I get and the more times I've been to the gym, not that I don't love it, but when the weather's nice and the vibes are right, I would much rather be outside. So changed the plans a little bit. We ended up just knocking out like 30-minute lift, and we're gonna go for dumb or smart, a little jog. Now I say dumb or smart because I haven't ran back-to-back days in a month and a half, maybe, just because dealing with that injury, blah, blah, blah. I'm sick and tired of talking about it. Little did I think the dumb part would be that I started to run right when they're closing the drawbridge. So nothing like getting 0.15 into your run before having to take a 5-minute break. Get that sun in my eyes. It feels so nice. There she is. Big Blue. Big Blue. Now apparently there's some crazy air show this weekend with like the Navy, Air Force, all of that. So I think that's why they got it gated up. Apparently it's sick, but keeping me from my beach access. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big Blue in the flesh. Let's go. Fire me up. That was just so enjoyable. What a way to start the day. I mean, that is, dude, screw the gym. I don't get how, it's impressive, but I don't get how those 35, 40-year-old bodybuilders spending 2 hours in the gym aren't just insane. I've been doing this since I was 14 years old, going to a gym, and it gets boring. Like sometimes you just really appreciate the peace, quiet, gym atmosphere, just lifting some weights, pump, whatever. But for the most part, being outside is just way sicker. I can see how you go for a 15-hour run. There's just so much to look at. So much to look at. My next task is to try to figure out how we remove all car traffic at least half a mile away from the beach. Half a mile. Because just imagine, you hear how quiet it is? There's no cars right now. Imagine just viewing this with no cars around. And then all of a sudden, bunch of cars make it all loud and not peaceful. But I wish I could just look at this. Peace and quiet. You know, I read this interesting statement. I don't know if it's a fact. I believe it, and to me it's a fact, but I don't know if it's 100% true, but that there is a direct correlation between people who sweat more than they watch other people sweat are more successful and more happy with life, meaning that they're working out more than they're watching sports, more than they're watching video games, more than they're watching life happen. And I think that is so true. If you can focus on yourself and push yourself and work hard at things, hobbies, sport, life, just the fact of working towards it is going to make you feel a lot better about your whole circumstance rather than watching the top tiers do their thing. Thought of the day. With that said, fired up because we got another run. Let's go jog a few miles. We're getting back into this thing. No complaints. No complaints. Nothing like a little beach sunrise and a little sweat equity to start your day. I can tell I've lost a little bit of fitness these last 6-7 weeks when I'm coming down from that post 309 marathon. I've definitely lost a little bit of fitness, but it's not crazy. And what is killing me is I'm only doing 5-6 mile runs right now, and I'll probably continue that next week. But every bone in my body wants to just go rip a 16 miler right now. and just watch the sunrise the whole time and enjoy it. And while I think physically I'm very well capable of doing that right now, I know it is not in the cards if we're gonna make sub 3 prep go well. I am just so happy to be back. I was so down when I was injured and I didn't really know what was going on, and I went through that. I've done the PT work, I've done the process, I figured it out. I'm on the other side of it, and I hope that those that watched that process picked up that don't beat yourself up. And I preach it, but sometimes I don't always practice it. Don't beat yourself up. Follow the right steps. You're gonna be okay. As deep and dark as it might get sometimes, you're gonna be okay. I'm gonna end the video here, guys. Thanks for watching another one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Go for a run, watch the sunrise. I'll see you in the next one.